Hey, welcome to our Great Plains Baptist Association first ever online on YouTube video to have our sponsors meeting. And so we're real excited about the opportunity to bring Kids Camp to your church this summer as we meet at Southwest Baptist Assembly. And we will start on May the 26th, which is the Tuesday after Memorial Day. And then we will go through Friday. And then week 2 will be the Monday after that, which will be June the 1st through Thursday. We're excited about the opportunity that God's given us to minister to your children and also to your adult sponsors. And so I have with me DJ Walter. DJ is going to talk just a little bit, and he's going to share with you some important details about camp.
All right, so for the next few moments, we're going to go over some things about camp. And here's what I want to do to start off. Let me introduce to you our camp pastor for the week. I'm excited about him being here. In fact, when we were talking about this a couple years ago, we were like, hey, we got to get Todd here. And so I've seen him amongst our community. I've seen him student teach at schools, and so he's got a great message, but he's able to speak clearly to kids and to adults alike. And so God has really blessed him, and so we're going to be blessed to have Todd Thornton as our camp speaker this year. Is there anything you want to add or say? Or?
Yeah, I just wanted to say a little something about the camp theme and kind of what the teaching times will look like for your students who are coming. Our camp theme for the year is Pivot, and that's really based on Acts 3:19, which says this. It says, "Repent therefore and turn back, that your sins may be blotted out." And then verse 20 says that times of refreshing may come from the presence of the Lord. Ultimately, that's what we all need. We need to know Jesus rightly, and we need to be in right relationship with him. And so that's going to be the theme. Very evangelistically focused, although there will be some discipleship elements as well. And so each evening, we're going to have a sermon tailored to walk through the gospel message. You know, we all are stuck in our sin. We all need to repent and come back to the Lord through Jesus Christ and offer ourselves to him. The morning teaching times, which happen during our rotation schedule, those are going to be a little bit more nuts and bolts, a little bit more discipleship driven, but it's going to be a really good time. In the evening time, sponsors, you can help us with this, especially during the invitation time. We want your students who feel that they need to respond to the invitation, we want them to talk to you because you know them. We don't know them as well, we don't have that relationship, but you do. And so, at the end of the sermon, I'll give very clear instructions, and then we will pray. During that time, make your way to the back of the sanctuary, because during the service, we're going to ask that you sit amongst your students. I know that sometimes we, as the leaders, we flow toward the back, and we want to, jabber-jaw with our buddies, and I get that, but there's ample time for that during the week. Let's not make the sermon time that time. So please, during the sermon, sit with your friends. I'll give very clear instructions. You'll move to the back of the tabernacle, and then we will send any students who feel that they need to respond to that invitation to the back of the tabernacle. You'll take that student over to the dining hall, which is just adjacent to the tabernacle, and then there's some further instruction, and you can walk with them there. So we just wanted to highlight that for you. I'm really excited. 2 of my own kids are coming to camp this year by God's grace, and so I'm excited to be with you guys as well at camp.
Yeah, so we're excited about Todd being there, and we're praying for you and looking forward to the messages and what God's going to do.
Thanks,
so,
DJ.
Hey, all right, so let's cover the next important topic here is going to be prescriptions and things that your students are going to need to bring. So kind of the best thing to do with that is to designate a sponsor from your church that will collect that on the morning of camp as they come. I found that maybe putting it in a baggie, labeling it, have your parents write detailed instructions, put that in the baggie, and then designate a sponsor to be able to bring that to the camp nurse. Our camp nurse this year is Scott. She's a very detailed individual, and she will do a good job of making sure that the student takes their medication or whatever the detailed description is for the parent that leaves it. She'll make sure that it happens. She will track your kid down and make sure that they take their prescriptions or take their medicine, allergy or whatever it may be. So she'll be the one that dispenses all of that. She is a nurse and works there in Altus as a nurse, so we can trust her with all of those things. So if you'll do that, and then when you get to camp, be able to have that sponsor take it over to her, and she'll be able to do that. The next thing that the kids always ask about is climbing up the mountain.
I know.
I don't climb up the mountain. I don't know why anybody would do that at 100-degree weather, but
I agree.
they do, right? So in order to do that, though, you have to check in at the nurse's station, and you have to take a walkie-talkie. You got to sign in there so we know who's going up and make sure that the same number comes back down, right? We don't want anybody hurt, and we want to make sure that we're accountable for all of those. So sponsors must check out a walkie-talkie, and you must go up with a sponsor as well, right? You can't just take a group, kids can't just go off by themselves. They have to be with a sponsor, signed out from there, and then when you're done with your hike up the mountain, you got to come back and sign out there at the nurse's station so that we have all that. Next, we have been gifted, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot that. You got to wear pants and closed-toed shoes because, yeah, it's just safe. We want to be safe and make sure that we're taking care of each kid. So pants. That always gets asked to us.
And we're climbing the smaller mountain. We don't go to the tall one anymore.
Yeah, but as a precaution, we want to make sure that we're wearing long pants and closed-toed shoes. The next thing that we've been gifted a water slide that goes with the swim or with the swimming pool. So we're going to have that. Also, it'll be times for the boys and girls to be able to utilize that during the free time. So probably kind of alternate it with girls are swimming, the boys will get to do the water slide and then switch that way. So that'll happen during the free time in the afternoon. Also, we have a dunk tank, which is fun. So it may be good for the kid to get in a dunk tank and the sponsor dunk them, right? Like that could take out some frustration.
Last year we had restrictions on height. I wasn't able to do it because I was so short, but we do not have those restrictions anymore because after using it last year, we realized, this really isn't that dangerous unless they hit you with the ball. But, so we don't have to get permission. It's not going to be on the slip for you to get permission to do the dunk tank. And there's supervision. We let the water out when we're not using it.
Yeah, so that's a fun thing for them to be able to use during that free time as well. Let's see here, group pictures. Always a fun, stressful time for you sponsors, right? So we're going to do that on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We'll gather in the tabernacle, and then groups will be called out individually. You'll walk over to the camp sign, and then be able to take your picture, and then you'll be released to do for the afternoon free time.
Last year, first week, we made a group picture of everybody, and then I forgot about it week 2. So this year we're going to make sure we do a whole group picture for both weeks, and we do it on kind of right below the dining hall where they can see Southwest Baptist Assembly in the background. So just make sure you know that.
All right. The next thing to add to your prayer list as you're preparing for camp is always the swimming pool. All right, the swimming pool needs to be bathed in prayer. Okay.
No, it's completely been redone.
That's good.
So that's a positive. New pump, new filters. But pray for it anyway.
Pray for the pool, right?
We're always the first week, so there's always a few hiccups.
That's right. So we want it to work for both weeks, and we want it to work every single day, so we don't have to make adjustments, right? I think last year, both weeks, we ended up having to have a group cut short. We don't want to do that. We want to utilize the swimming pool. So pray for that. Talking about the schedule, we do have the free time from 2 to 5, but from 1 to 2, we do a large group activity all together. We do that every single day, and then we go to our free time from 2 to 5. So that 1 to 2 activity will either be in the tabernacle there, or we'll utilize the big field out there at camp. So,
the last day usually before you go home, we do some type of wet adventure, and it's wet and muddy, and their clothes will be bad. Yeah. So we do that on purpose for the last day so they don't look like that all week.
And we're going to take pictures, right around there, so we don't want them.
Yeah, that's true.
No mud on their face. And then at 5 o'clock, kind of wrap up the schedule there at 5. There's a mandatory rest time that we're going to make everyone go back to their cabin. You can shower. You can take a nap. This is beneficial for you as sponsors to be able to just take a minute and breathe right there. So we're making everybody have to go back to their cabin. They can rest, they can chill, but they can't be outside running around or playing baseball, or they're not going to use any of that free time stuff. So that's kind of wraps up our schedule right there.
Let me say this. DJ Walter has been a blessing to us. He's been such a blessing. He loves Southwest Baptist Assembly. He loves the camp. And I just want to say personally, thank you. Thank you from all of our campers and our sponsors from Southwest Baptist Assembly and our association.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and we look forward to camp this year. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good time.
Thank you, DJ.
Hi, everybody. We want to begin by introducing, on my part, Jared Blount. He's going to be our worship leader this year. And Jared is from Enid in Emmanuel Baptist Church. He does a great job there as the associate pastor. And so I know he'll be a blessing to us. He was here, 3 years ago?
I think so.
Something like
3
that
years
for
ago.
the camp.
With his brother
And
Charlie.
And his brother Charlie was the preacher for us. And so, yeah, that's right. He's a well established in Oklahoma as he's a son of a pastor, pastor who's now passed on, But so he's well established in our state as a worship leader, and so he's going to be a great asset to our camp. He's also going to be in charge of our morning worship rally time, and the worship adventure time, and he's going to be just doing some things in there. We do need your assistance in being in that time as well as we rotate through those rotations in the morning. It'd be beneficial for us to have all those adult sponsors help out in maintaining the kids, keeping them under control, and helping them to participate in those opportunities of worship and missions and those types of things too. And so we want to encourage you to do that as well. One of the things we're going to do this year is we're going to have, again, our wristband idea. Every grade is going to have a different colored wristband. And so that identifies them as what group they're going to be traveling with in those morning rotation times, as well as being legitimate, supposed to be there on the campground. And so there's also junior sponsor color,
Yes.
and a sponsor color,
Yes,
right?
there
There you go.
is.
So we have all those, and that just identifies you as supposed to be on the campground, and that's kind of a safety precaution for us, and we just want to make sure to do that. Next up on the list is the KP duty. Now every year we have KP, and every church participates in the KP. This year we're going to be assigning those KP duties and what meal you're going to be in charge of, helping out to clean up the kitchen and the meal after the meal. And so we want to go through those details with you right quick. The very first thing is we're going to send the KPers first thing to the front of the line in the meal. It's a change up from what we've done in the past, but we want to do that this year. We want to let them have a chance to eat. There's the opportunity at the end of the meal to clean the tables. We want to wash those down, make sure they're clean for the next time we use them, as well as sweeping and mopping the floors. We're needing some people on trash detail and on the drink bucket to take those to the garbage and to cross the road with the bucket.
Oh, and let me get your food. Let me get your drink. I know you're not finished with that, but I'm going to get it.
Don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Don't do that. No.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm going to get your food.
we want to make sure that those KPers are not rushing people in their food as they get their plate. I just remember one example shared with me a few years back where a kid had just gotten his plate full of food, and one of the KPers came to him and said, "You done with that?" and grabbed it and took it to the trash immediately. Didn't have a chance to eat. And so we don't want to have that happen anymore. And so make sure that your kids, if you're in KP duty, that you're going to be letting the people eat their food and then take it to the trash themselves. That's probably the best scenario there. So don't
They
call
want to
it
be
finished.
servants. They
That's
want
right.
to be servants.
That's right. That's a good thing to be. Just we want to make sure everybody gets the food that they
Mid-bite
need.
one time, my plate was gone.
Yeah, there you go. It happens, but we don't want that to happen, and so we want to make sure that we're taking out the trash and the drink buckets. Let's see, picking up the plates, but don't rush people. Got to get down to the list there. We're going to have this year, one sponsor is going to be assigned to be in charge of the salad bar and kind of supervising that. That's the KP people, right?
Yeah, we've had trouble in the past. We have kids that'll get a whole bowl of bacon bits. Now, I would like to do that with a whole bowl of ranch. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Or we'll have a kid take a whole bowl of watermelon or something. But we've got to ration that a little bit because we've got to make sure that it's fair for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need an adult to sponsor that.
Yeah, we're also going to assign out of the KP group two to do the drinks table, and so
You could have some
beware of that.
kids help you too. It's going to make it run a whole lot smoother.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So those are going to be assigned as we go along. Dinner KP. Let me make sure of this. They're going to put out the decision cards.
That's true.
For that evening's decision team that will be in charge of that. They'll come back into the not the tabernacle, the dining hall, and that's where we'll do our counseling with the kids and make sure that they understand the gospel that's been presented to them that night by Todd. And so we're gonna have that opportunity. But the KP and the dinner time, the evening time, is going to set out the displays and the paperwork there that they can fill out. So that's that. Cabins will be assigned the times to serve the meals, and so that's another thing we're going to do a little bit. And so that's just going to be, we're going to assign the people that will come and help to serve those meals as well. And so that's something we'll be looking at doing. We're also, this year we're going to set up our teams again. There'll be 4 different teams that we'll go through. We're going to call them the missions teams, and we're going to focus on the missions, different things like that. So we'll have the names already picked out for those teams. And so just be aware of that we're going to have everybody, including sponsors, be a part of these teams that are going to be competing through the week, earning points for their team, and it's going to be a great opportunity for them.
So let's just tell the truth. The points mean what?
Absolutely nothing.
And that's okay. What we're trying to do is build enthusiasm among the students, and so I've had sponsors in the past going, we're manipulating these kids, and I don't want to manipulate these kids. Well, we're not manipulating them. We're bringing some enthusiasm, some excitement, because really, in reality, everything we do, we don't do it for a prize.
That's right.
You know, and so we're teaching these kids how to serve, but we also want to have a little fun, and kids love competition.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we're going to be doing that, and it's just really an enjoyable time. We also have sponsors that will be leading these teams.
Yeah. All right, the last thing on my list is that on the last day of camp, we're going to have a fun run in the very first thing in the morning, about 7 o'clock, 7:15, sometime in there. I'll have to find the schedule, make sure of that, but we'll have it on the schedule. It's just a fun run. It's just 2 times around the campground, and so it's just a fun thing. And you said earlier,
I do have medallions.
You said earlier we don't give out prizes, but we do for the fun run.
We do.
And so if you're the top, I think how many? Top 3 in each age group, or just top 1? I don't remember what it is.
I think it's the top 1 in each age group.
Top 1 in each age group. So be aware of that's going to be.
I've never won one.
Sponsors are allowed to run too. So so come and join that run. And so just like you said earlier, you don't climb the mountain anymore. I don't either, and I don't do the fun run. But that's okay. You know, you can do it. You can do it. So
well, we have a great time. Casey, I want you to stay here, and I want to say this. Hey, I love Casey. Casey starts working on kids camp the day we get back from kids camp. He literally is always thinking year-round about what we're going to do for kids camp, how can we make it better, and you need to know as a sponsor, on that last day, when we give you that QR code for you to do the evaluation for kids camp, we absolutely, I send those as a PDF back to all our leadership,
That's right.
and we look at every single one of them.
Yeah.
Now, we have had a few laughs out of some of them,
Yeah.
but honestly, we have made several changes due to the responses that we received. Don't
That's
you
right.
agree?
Oh, yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
allowed us to have a great camp. So your response is very important to us. So remember that Thursday you're going to give evaluations. The other thing, you may be watching this video and you may say, hey, I have a suggestion that I didn't tell last year, but we might want to do it. Call me, 580-243-9023. Call me, let me know what it is. I'd be more than happy if we can to implement it, okay?
Absolutely.
So stay here with me, interrupt me if I forget something.
Okay.
One of the things that is extremely important across Southern Baptist and Great Plains Baptist Association, Oklahoma Baptist, we want to protect children. So I want you to hear this. We have 0 tolerance for any type of abuse.
That's right.
Physical, sexual, emotional, any type of abuse. We don't care what it is. If you as a sponsor, if you have a question about anybody, if you have a question about Danny Ringer spending too much time with this boy or this girl, Casey King spends too much time with this boy or this girl, it's not their child. If a sponsor, if you see that even from another church, if you see something that you just think is inappropriate, you need to, if it's me, go to Casey. Casey, come to me. If it's another sponsor, come to us. We will deal with it. You need to understand, we will protect children at all costs. That's it. And I want to tell you something. We do not investigate allegations. We will turn it in to the county, to the county sheriff's department there in Kiowa County. So just so you know, we won't investigate it. All right? But you will be investigated if there is a problem. And you would want that. And so we want to make sure that we are protecting children. That means don't put your bunk next to a kid's. Don't move the bunks. You don't sleep with a kid. You don't let a kid sleep with you. You don't do those things. Now, in the past, we've had kind of an honor system that we expect pastors and churches to do the ministry safe training. I'll be honest, Casey, I don't sleep well after I do the ministry safe training. It makes me almost sick to my stomach that we even have to do this, but we want to protect children. This year, the camp board has voted every sponsor has to bring a copy of the Ministry Safe certificate. So you'll have to go through Ministry Safe and bring a copy of that certificate. You can email it to me or you can bring it hard copy, but I have to have it before the first day while you're there, okay? So you have to go through Ministry Safe. You have to have a background check, okay? They're only good for 18 months. And so you can go through the association. If you need a background check, let us know, okay? And we can send you the information for that. Also, do not bring any, or we're going to say this, it's $100 per camper and sponsor. It's $100 a piece. Last year I thought, you know, Casey, let's just let them mail the check in. No. Give your money to the church, have each child pay the church, and then the church needs to bring the check to camp made out to Great Plains Baptist Association. Do not make it out to the camp. I'm not even going to say the name. Make the check out to Great Plains Baptist Association. Put in the memo, kids camp registration. Okay? Water's Edge does our finances, and it will help me when I deposit it to make sure it goes to the right account. Okay? So please, it's $100 per camper per sponsor. I want to say this. We're going to try to keep it $100 per sponsor and camper as long as we can.
Yep.
So we put more and more money in our budget for camp. This year our budget's $8,000 to do camp. We pay $75 of that $100 to the camp for your food and everything else at the camp. We do our program with $25. That includes a t-shirt and other activities things. Yeah. So just understand, that's what we do with your money. So you need to know that up front, okay, as sponsors.
Hey, Danny, who's the caretaker at camp?
Oh, the caretaker at camp, his name is Billy Dyer, D-Y-E-R. Now, what I do with Billy, and I do this with the camp directors and myself, each cabin will have Billy's cell phone number. It will have Casey's cell phone number. It will have my cell phone number. And that way, you'll be able to get a hold of us if you have any problem. You need toilet paper? Call Billy. You need to have a clogged up drain? Call Billy. Okay, you need something? Call Billy for your cabin. Okay, if there is a problem, call him. If there's anything else, if you can't get a hold of Billy, call us and we'll make sure that we get a hold of him. Okay, so just make sure that you understand Billy Dyer does a great job. The other thing is we want sponsors only to bring these cell phones. Bring these to camp. When you do your registration, put your cell phone number on there. You'll be given the Wi-Fi password. So you will have Wi-Fi at camp. You'll be able to use that Wi-Fi. But it will allow me to text you with a number. We call it flock note, but it's a random number. But I will be able to communicate with you as a sponsor, and it's not a group text. And so if you respond back, I get an email. But you're not getting a text from everybody else. And what it does, Casey, it allows you to know if there's a weather problem. If we can't do something, if there's a change in schedule, if we're going to meet someplace else, you as a sponsor have that information. Sometimes even during the service, I've been known to text you on this to let you know that we've got a little weather coming in. We're gonna change the time so you can be in your cabin so you're not rained on.
Yeah, that's a great.
So it's a great tool. I do keep it on all year, but you obviously haven't received a text from me because I try to respect your time. Okay, but you will get those now. There will be times that you might get a lot of text, you know, if we have something come up. So just so you know, we also have the situation with weather. Fortunately, we haven't had that, but nowadays I can watch David Payne go nuts over a cloud. But, you know, I watch the weather even during the church service if we've got something going on. And we have a strategic plan. We have permission from the city of Blair to go to an underground shelter there. And we have permission to go to Hobart if we have to go north. And so just to kind of let you know, we are watching the weather, or if it's just going to be thunderstorms and there's nothing severe in the area, we just stay in our cabins and watch the weather there. Okay? Pray for us because one day we'd love to have a new dining hall with safe rooms.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Be great.
We're excited about it. Now, every day we have cabin inspection. Now, sponsors, here's why we do cabin inspection. And we love the fact that you get into it. We let whoever wins that day have lunch first with the KP people. But here's the thing. We do cabin inspection for one reason. Can you imagine if you didn't clean up your cabin for a whole week, what your cabin would look like the last day? I mean, it's nuts. I've never seen anything like it. So we do cabin inspection. So at least by noon, your cabin's halfway decent.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
And we have a lot of churches that they really do a good job. They leave candy for the inspectors. They bribe them, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
All right? We are going to have concessions a little different this year.
Yeah.
Last year, can you believe we had this? We had a black market. I can't believe I'm even having to talk about this. I mean, I'm just kind of, do I really have to talk about this? We had kids that were buying extra wristbands and buying extra candy, and for some reason, they would sell kids candy for $5 when they could have got it for $1 if they'd have just bought another wristband. I have no idea how that happened. So here's what we're doing. They're going to get a wristband with their $100. Do not send any money to camp. Don't send money to camp. None. We don't want your money. We're not going to sell extra wristbands. So they're going to get 3 snacks a day from the concession stand. They're going to have to manage that. Most of you as sponsors bring snacks in your cabin, okay? The other thing too is we will mark those 3 a different color every day. But we will also, so they're not going to starve, they're going to get free popcorn one day. They're going to get free snow cones one day, and snow cones are at a different window. But they're not going to starve.
I'm all about the free too. That's a good
free's
thing.
good.
So,
Free's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, nothing's really free. They're paying for it.
That's
They're
right.
$100.
That's right.
But
That's
so I just want you to know concessions are different. We're also going to close concession stands at 4. And that'll give a little bit of time for the people doing concessions to have a life. And we will have volunteers to help us do concessions along with the people that are in charge of it. Okay? So concessions, a little bit different. We're going to try it. If it doesn't work, you can let us know in the evaluations. We're going to have a little contest with Gaga Pit this year in 9 Square. We'll give a little award for that. And then remember this too. You are always to supervise sponsors, even if, or supervise sponsors. Well, you might
we
do
can
that
do that too, yeah.
But
Especially
you need to
in-
supervise campers. So if you're sitting over at the concession stand and someone's kind of getting into it over at the Gaga Pit, you probably ought to get up from the concession stand and go take care of that.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
And when we have new carts, the carts are the same, but they've been remodeled. We had a member at First Baptist Church Altus completely remodel them. They look great. And we're working on getting pavement. I am in a process of trying to get pavement for that. By next year, we'll have that.
All right.
So we want to also remind junior sponsors, they have to have finished the 10th grade. Otherwise, you have to get permission from myself, and your pastor has to recommend them.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to have finished the 10th grade. We feel like that's old enough. They are technically sponsors, but they are junior sponsors, and we will have some duties, especially to help us with that recreation from 1 o'clock until 2.
Yeah.
They'll have duties during that, and then also at night during chaos.
Yeah.
They'll have to help us with chaos. Okay, so they'll need to make sure that they get with camp director during those things. Now, this year we've changed it. Week 1, we always had a change to the last day. We're going to do that for week 2. So here's the deal. You will not do rotations on the last day. You know, one of the things about the last day, everybody cleans up their cabin and then they don't let a kid back in their cabin. They got to go to the bathroom, and then we go to all those rotations. So this year what we've decided to do, the last day for both days, once your cabin's clean, we're going to meet in the tabernacle. We're going to do the rotation for the worship there. We'll worship. We will do a missions rotation, and we'll have a testimony, and we'll have a message one last time to hear the gospel. And then you'll be dismissed to go. We'll actually pick up trash over the whole campground, and then you'll get to go home. You'll be leaving the camp possibly between 10 and 10:30.
Amen.
So you'll be home, so there won't be lunch that last day. You will have lunch the first day. I will say this on the first day. Don't come to camp at 10. Get here about 10:30 or 11 or 11:30, but not 10. Okay, that's way too early. Okay, because we've already assigned your cabin, and when you walk into your cabin, you'll have your t-shirts, you'll have your wristbands, and you'll have the information that you need right there on one of the beds or on a cabinet, and you'll see it right as you walk in for your cabin. It'll be for all of you. If you have a problem, need an extra wristband or a t-shirt didn't fit or something, come to the nurse's station, and at the nurse's station, which is just to the side up behind the concession stand of the dining hall, you can come and change that out. Okay, so that works out really, really well. I'm usually in charge with a couple other guys, pastors, of the decision time. And so here's the thing that I want you to hear. We want to have a time to train all of you who have not been through our training. So if you have not been through the training for decisions, I'm going to meet you at 5 o'clock in the missions room, okay? And so you can come at 5 o'clock to the missions room, and it'll take about 15, 20 minutes for some of you that just have never been through the training to do evangelism and to share the gospel, okay? Now, here's what you have to understand. Once they go through that with you, you're going to have a QR code. You'll do the QR code with your phone. You'll put the child's information in. Make sure you spell everything properly. Make sure you know what church they're with. And then make sure you put the decision, and then you'll submit it. And then I will get it, and I'll send that on to the pastor. That's been a great tool. But don't let them leave. They've got to come to the door, and they've got to talk to myself or one of the pastors there, and they have to tell us the decision that they've made. We will ask them. We may sit down with them, look them eye to eye, but we want to know what decision that they made. Okay?
We also want to send that information to the churches too afterwards.
Absolutely.
And so that you guys can follow up with each one of the decisions that happens at camp. You know, camp is a great time for having decisions made. A lot of kids wait till that type of an event to make their decisions, but we want you to make sure you follow up at home, because these kids need to be discipled. They need to know more about Jesus, and you're the one. You're the person that stands in the gap to help this process out. So
now I will say this too, just so you know, this is not about notching a Bible and having numbers. We want to make sure every child has made this decision and that they understand to the best of their ability what is going on in their life. So if a child is not ready to come to Christ, sometimes we've had a kid come every single night and they're still not ready. Mm-hmm. We just send that on to the pastor. Hey, this child's asking questions. They're still not sure. Just so I'll let you know. But don't push a child to make a decision, because they literally could have to grapple with that the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
We want them to know that God's called them to be saved and that the Holy Spirit's involved, not us manipulating them into a decision. We absolutely don't want that, because, see, our theme is evangelism this year, but we're called to make disciples. We're not called to make converts. It's to make disciples.
That's right.
It has to start properly. And you know what? God has a specific time for them to be saved. He doesn't need us to push it. You agree with that?
That's right. Absolutely.
The other thing Casey does is he makes devotionals for each day, and so each day the kids will have devotionals in the morning. We just have a great team, and I hope that also, if you don't get the newsletter, make sure you let me know. Send your email address to me. We send out a newsletter. We are starting a prayer emphasis. Have your church put our junior camp at Southwest Baptist Assembly for Great Plains Baptist Association on your prayer list, and be praying specifically for kids camp starting now.
Amen. That's right.
Registration. Registration starts on April 1st. Casey wants it to start earlier.
That's right.
It will next year. Okay, I wasn't quite ready. Now, it's going to be a little different this year. We're going to use Google Docs. We have figured out a way to use Google Docs, Casey, to where you can't see what another church's registration looks like. And so what will happen is you'll get your registration, and then each church will have an administrator. And you'll be able to change things in that registration in real time. And then that way you will know how many campers you have. And the other thing too is we have a deadline. The deadline for week 1 is the week before on Monday. And then the deadline for week 2 will be Memorial Day that night. That allows me to order t-shirts the next day on Tuesday. Yeah. And so I'll have those t-shirts by Friday, and we'll have them all ready for you. Okay. Sounds good. Is there anything I've left off?
No, I just want to say, Danny, you do a great job as our associational director, and we just appreciate you so much for all that you do, getting prepared for camp, along with all the other responsibilities that you have. And so thank you so much, Danny.
I appreciate you. Hey, thank you for sponsors. We cannot do kids camp without sponsors. You know, the thing about it is, our camp's unique. We need every sponsor to participate. It's not a vacation. Yeah. People take time off from work. It is work. Camp is hard, but it's a joy and it's a blessing. So thank you, and God bless you. We're praying for your camp.